Hey friends, an extra Monday episode. Been a while since we had a Monday episode, but I thought with the HasLab Giant Man coming out, it'd be a good opportunity to share some thoughts, give my opinion on it for those that are interested, and maybe just chat it up just for a couple minutes to start your Monday morning. So this is going to be about the HasLab Giant Man and maybe some other things at the end. So pretty quickly, if you haven't seen HasLab Giant Man, $200, $199.99. And I think part of the way they hit that price point, or probably the way they hit that price point, is they scaled way back on the accessories, on the unlockables. It basically comes with two replaceable face plates. So you can have him stoic, you can have him smiling, you can have him like fighting, like "Arr." And then if it unlocks, the first unlockable, I think that's the zombie Giant Man, and the second unlockable will be the Skrull head. Those are just both heads. So nothing in the campaign is like figures that you would otherwise want. They all just work with Giant Man. So even in Galactus, it was the Heralds, but some people would have wanted those Heralds to go with the Galactus Toy Biz Build-A-Figure, for instance. So I think because of that, because there's not 4 extra figures with this or whatever, they were able to hit that price point under $200. And if you're a Pulse Premium member, like I am, and like a lot of us are, because of how many Pulse exclusives there are, you get free shipping with that. So a very reasonable, in my opinion, well done, well thought out HasLab. I really do think that. I'm not a big Marvel Legends collector. I'm not really a Marvel Legends collector anymore, but even I am thinking about it. At that price point for a huge figure that could work with like Mafex or SH Figure Arts or whatever, I think you could just have some fun with that huge figure. I think $200 is reasonable, especially compared to some other things that have been in the market. I don't want to talk about other crowdfunds on this because this is specifically about that Hasbro, but the other Hasbro things, it's in line, comparable with his tank, with the recent G.I. Joe helicopter. So it's at a price point that I think is manageable for a lot of folks. I mean, a lot of folks, if you buy waves of Marvel Legends, you're used to spending a couple $100 of discretionary money on action figures already. So I think that's the sweet spot. There'll probably be some folks upset that they reduced the offerings with it, but I don't think you can have both. They're just not going to sell you a huge figure and 4 additional figures for $200. They're just not going to do it. Even if they could, even if their profit margins are 70% on this, they're just not. They're a publicly traded company. They've got money to make. They got employees and so forth. So I think this was a good medium. I appreciated that on the live stream, Ryan actually talked about that they learned from previous HasLabs and tried to get it at a lower price point and maybe not have certain desirable things like the way Mephisto was behind these paywalls. And I think they did a good job. As I'm recording this, it's Friday night. It's been live for 8 or 9 hours, and it's only about 25% funded, but I think this will get definitely funded. I'm surprised it didn't get funded within the first few hours at that lower price point. They need 10,000 backers, which is also a lower number of backers than they usually require. So I think Hasbro's actually listening in this case. I do think they're listening. And it feels like for a lot of us that the toy companies don't listen. Certainly we have companies like the Four Horsemen that feel like they very much do listen to their fans. Robin Toy certainly listens to their fans. But the reality is, even if they hear something loud and clear, it's like turning around the Titanic, right? Even if they want to make a change, so many things are already in a production cycle, are already in the factories, they're already on a boat. You can't just snap your fingers and change it. It takes a while to change it. So, for instance, Hasbro was going back to window package. I think they probably made that decision not long after the blow up of the plastic-free packaging, but it takes a while to make those decisions and change and turn the boat around. So I don't often say this, but I think Hasbro did a good job. And I think the Marvel Legends team did a good job. They catch a lot of fire. I think they make a lot of mistakes in the way they do certain things. Well, at least I wouldn't do it the same way, especially in some of the marketing stuff. But I think they did a good job with this. And I think this, if you're a Marvel Legends collector, maybe this isn't for you because I don't know how many people really desperately need a Giant Man, an old comic style Giant Man. But it's cool. And it's a lower cost several years later than the Sentinel was. And sure, it doesn't come with as much, but I think this is the path. If the NECA sewer layer had been $200, I'd have bought it. But at $300, I didn't. If the WWE ring, the Nitro ring, had been $199, I might would have bought that. I think once you go over that $200 mark, it crosses into, like, for me as a collector, Hot Toys money, statue money. It goes to a different category, and then I'm like, do I really want to spend this on this? And $200 is a lot of money for all of us, right? All of us, for everybody, that's a lot of money. But I think they did a good job on the Giant Man. So those are my thoughts on that. Will I be backing it? There is actually a chance. And if you would have told me this morning, hey, the HasLab is going to be Giant Man, are you going to back it? I'd say there's a 0% chance. Because in my mind, I thought $400, $500, it's going to come with a bunch of stuff I don't need that I'm just going to put in a tub and never use, and I paid for that stuff. Coming with not a lot of parts, just the big figure at $200, at least makes me consider it. So I certainly talk when I disagree with companies' perspectives. I wanted to say that I think they did a good job. I agree with them. So leave your thoughts in the comments. If you're still a Legends collector, the reason I would get it is because I'm a Mafex Marvel collector, and I think it would work well with the Mafex. But again, I don't have space. I got so much stuff. So that's my thoughts. Now, second half of the video, second portion, I just wanted to comment about our convention season, which is kind of wound down as Dragon Con happens. We still have Legions Con, which we're very excited about in November. We may go to Anime Week in Atlanta and Retro Toy Con later as well. But our big part of our season, which starts at Toylanta and ends at Dragon Con, that 6 months of convention season is over. And I wanted to reiterate again how much I love doing this hobby with my family, with Natalie and Kaya, and with all of you. And it is so cool where even at Dragon Con, a convention that's huge, 70, 80,000 people, 100,000 people are coming up and say, hey, I watch your stuff. I appreciate what you do. I like your positivity. I like your message. I like the energy you put out in the world. And, it's not been the easiest year for me with work getting really, really hectic, and then Kaya's school schedule is hectic. And I don't have enough time for me, honestly. I really wanted to focus on me in this year, and I haven't done a great job. And certain things have slipped because of that. And as I've had my birthday, and it's just recently, it's a chance to do a introspection, say, I got to do better on some things, and I'm going to. I already have started doing better on those things. But I don't want to lose my attitude of gratitude for each of you. And the community is growing and growing. We've been on more live streams. I just did a live stream Friday. We did a live stream last week at the Dragon Con Parade. We're going to try to do more of that, more opportunities to interact directly with you, especially in between convention seasons. But certainly please come up to us, talk to us. It makes us feel good. And so many positive messages and encouragement. And it's meaningful. It's meaningful. And, life is so much better when you do it with the people you love. And I just am very blessed to have people that I love that want to do this hobby with me. But we also live a lot of life together. And so I wanted to thank you all, since this is a Monday video, not a Wednesday video, where we kind of talk about things and the other side of that. I do also want to open up the comments, so certainly tell me about if you're getting the Ant-Man or not, or the Giant Man. But if I start to pick up some Monday videos more often where we talk about topics, what are some things that you'd like to see me talk about that are maybe a little more in-depth, a little more emotional, not just what are your thoughts on plastic-free packaging or the prices on Marvel. I have a lot of thoughts on that. I usually talk about those things on the Sunday episodes, but things that are a little harder, struggling with mental health and how does this hobby help with it, or how do you get out of your comfort zone and meet people at a convention or things like that. I'd like to have conversations like that more often. So I appreciate you being here. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and let's see. I don't think we have a Wednesday video unless we've got Kai's video made. But on Sunday, we got part 2 of Dragon Con. Hopefully you enjoyed part 1 yesterday. We had a great time. It's our birthdays. So part 2 of Dragon Con coming up Sunday. And I'll talk to you then.